All right, good evening, gang. Let's see if y'all can see me. I'm going to flip over from StreamYard to the main screen. I can see you here. What do you? So you know I can see. All right, Joseph says 5x5 undercover. Adam, JS. All right, Paula, New York, budget prepper, prep rebel, Judy, cool. Happy 2025, guys. Here we are. We're a week into the month already, or a week into the year, and yeah, it's our first live stream of 2025. So happy New Year to everybody. Merry Christmas. I think we did one after Christmas, but Happy New Year to y'all. Glad to see everybody made it through. We're still here after all the craziness that happened over New Year's. But yeah, so now it's time to get back to real life. We are, what, 19 days? No, I think about 14, 13 days now from changing the world. God. Down here, the last couple of weeks been pretty good. PBJ went home today, so she's already made it. So it was good. We were watching weather. We had timed this out, figuring out what the storm was at a time, knowing when it was going to come. Because she's got to get from here to Indy, and so we knew today and tomorrow were the window. But so she got out, left this morning about 11, got home around 5:30 ish or something like that. So she's already said to me that she's home. So that's good. So her cat is probably happy. But yeah, so it was a nice second Christmas, if you will. We she got here Friday. We did Christmas dinner on Friday night, open presents Friday night. Uh, what did we do Saturday? Saturday, I took her to the gun range, which is nice. If you guys remember last summer, she, for the first time ever, wanted to go to the gun range. And so she wanted to go. It was 32 degrees when we went to the gun range. She's like, "Is it too cold?" I'm like, "We're going to shoot in the cold just like we shoot in the summer." So we took her out there and we just went pistols this time. And if you guys remember last time, she's like, the 22 wasn't enough. And so she shot my shield and she did pretty good with that. And I'm like, okay, so let me give her my CC, the 75 BS1, and put her out at 50 feet on a 50-foot silhouette, 17 of 17 in the body and in the head. Like, damn, dude, you're natural. She's like, I want to be better than that. I'm like, okay, that's good. I said, but if there's 17 silhouettes coming at you, you just took all 17 of them down. So she was good. So that was it. Then Sunday was fun. We in the cold and the sleet and got out and smoked a brisket. Didn't burn it this time for a change. Uh, Came out good. Took us 14 hours to do that. But and Mrs. P and I finally finished eating the leftovers today. So we've been eating brisket for 3 days. But yeah, so get out and cook in the cold, which was good for me too, because usually when I'll get out and smoke something, it's summertime. Like, okay, let's do it in the cold weather and see what was going on. So we'll keep the smoker going and cook everything up and finish it off in the oven, and all was good. So did that. Other than that, it was just kind of casual, cool. I did get the ram pump going between Christmas and New Year's. Uh, we got it pumping. I'll show you all of this in the video here soon because I've got to finish it. Because I had try buying clothes in December and January. Not easy. So I had ordered that through Amazon. It finally showed up today. But if you guys remember this, I'm trying to pump water from a creek that is about 85 feet below the level of the pond, up 800 feet of length. There was enough hose that wasn't waste or whatever from I started doing this 2 years ago with just a regular 1-horse pump. but we got up to the crest, so we've already proven that the pump works, and we got up to the crest of the hill, so now the rest of the last 200 feet is downhill. So we've already pumped up probably 100 feet high, which is good. Uh, no power, no nothing. And of course, now with it being frozen, I guess it's frozen. I've gone out and looked at it in days. I'll have to wait till temperatures come up. But it'll be cold, and like I told you guys at lunch today, yeah, 3 to 6 inches of snow is what's expected for us. So, yeah, trying to pump water in the winter is not exactly easy. So that was it. Uh, Paradise Pete says solar. Yeah, the only problem with doing something, you're not going to put a little solar pump that's 6 inches. I'd need to have massive panels down there, and to run a solar pump, and that this is on my neighbor's property, and the neighbors are cool with me running the piping and everything like that through the stream. I'm not going to start asking if I can put solar panels up on their property or something like that. So yeah, I'm not going that far. And trying to get down there through the trees and everything like that, that would be just a utility trying to get down there anyway. So with panels, but yeah, so that's been. Is there anything else that's been going on here? No, gave PBJ a dash cam, same one that we got that I was telling you guys about. So we installed that for a car. Uh, God knows, hopefully the kid doesn't have another accident. Uh, but yeah, that's pretty much been the extent of it. Now it's late. He and I finally get to take down a Christmas decorations. So we're probably one of the last people out there that still has Christmas trees up here the 7th of January. But today is Orthodox Christmas. So that was the day today, too. Do that. So we are first live stream of the year, and it is interesting as to what's happened since the last time we all talked. So I'm going to cut my monologue a little short. We'll get into what you guys want to talk about, because God knows what we could talk about between the Lake and Riley bill today, or we could talk about Biden and the water heaters, or we could talk about wanting to ban cigarettes, or God knows what. But all I know is we got 2 more weeks. We're done with his chaos. So let's get into Q&A. As per normal, nothing's changed. Okay, we're now in our 5th year of doing this, guys. So if you've got questions for me, please put them all in all caps. That way I know you're addressing to me, not to each other. And as usual, if you want to be an asshole, just okay, the bot will take care of that real quick. Please treat everybody in here with respect. Be polite, okay, and we will all get along wonderfully. If you want to be rude, go somewhere else. This ain't it. And the last thing I will say, and you guys probably saw yesterday on the community board, thank you for all of those of you that donated to Angry Prepper in their time of mourning. Let's put it that way. If you haven't seen what's gone on, go watch this video from the other day. I sent that over to them yesterday morning, and Jason was like, "Oh my God, this is too much." Like, Jason, it's already done. Take it to what needs to be done, and that was it. So, and he was very appreciative. So thank you to everybody. So, for all you guys that donated, for everybody that said a prayer for him and his family, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. Okay. So, all right, so let's get going into Q&A here. Get back up to the top. Wow, there's a lot of gaps already. Okay. Hang on, I gotta find where wow, you guys are jeez. Okay, there's the 5x5s. Let's go from here. Okay. 22. Why does my live stream always start with a commercial? Oh, you can ask YouTube about that, because I got no control over the ads, videos, live streams, nothing. Tony Hoadley, did PBJ get home safely? Yes, she did. Like I said, got about 5:30. She said the roads were good, so that was helpful. A couple of Happy New Year's. That's all good. Let's see. Holly H, what did I get PBJ for Christmas? Okay. We got her the dash cam. I got her a new ice scraper for her car. She needed that. I got her a license plate frame that said Butler University. She wanted a license plate frame, but she wanted one with sparkles on it. I wanted something that meant something. God, I mean, she had 14 else with it. I will say this: a couple of you guys had sent me Kroger gift cards. I gave those to PBJ. Okay. Uh, Being a college student who is not allowed to work, I was like, you know what, you go buy groceries. Uh, so for a couple of you guys that sent those gift cards, thank you. That's where they went. So, but it's like I'm going to help somebody else. It's just the way I do things. But so thank you for sending those to me, and they went to her. What else did we get her? She got some lip balm that she wanted. There was album, which I get a kick out of. Vinyl records are coming back. She wants the vinyl. So we got her an album. You got to bear with me. I'm trying to remember this. I bought this stuff in October and November. Trying to remember what she opened. There was a travel mug that she wanted. It was a lot of stuff that a mid-20s something would want, And you got to remember, there's only so much you can get because come May next year, you got to spend a year on the road, a month at a time, is over and over and over again. So trying to figure out what's going on. But yeah, got her things for the car, things for the house, things for school. Oh, we got her like a stethoscope case. That was something. God, I'll remember that. Stuff like that. So it was things she could use that she could travel with. So, but it was fun. Pat Calhoun, will Trump seize the canal? There's an interesting one because when Jimmy Carter gave up the Panama Canal to Panama, the rule was, or the deal was, that the United States, would still be the protectorate of the canal and basically had the decisions on it. Except Panama has now decided that China is going to be the one to protect the canal and have the decisions on what was going to happen to it strategically, which is a violation of the contract that Jimmy Carter gave the canal to. So, and I'm not a lawyer, but yeah, there's a violation of the contract, which could make Trump be able to void it. Now, I'm going to give you something, and I'm going to just sidebar on this one real quick, because we hear all the talk about, oh, could Canada be the 51st state? Could we make Greenland a new territory? Yada, yada, yada. I got to say Trump is a master troll, okay? Because, hey, Justin Trudeau has already said he's leaving because he doesn't want to deal with working with Trump. Good. Nobody elected Trump because one of his platforms was to annex Greenland or to annex Canada. It's all fun and games that he's talking about this, and it's putting pressure on other countries. I agree. But his focus needs to be on, I don't know, America first. No offense to the Canadians out there, but you got your own problems. Greenland, you got your own problems with Denmark. Okay? We have to fix our problems here first before we can worry about any of that stuff. Okay? Could it ever happen? Sure. The borders in the world have changed countless times over history. But Should that be a priority? No. But knowing Trump, because he's always thinking 3 steps ahead of everybody else, this is all strategic. And my thought is put enough bug in the ear with Denmark about, oh, we don't want to give it to you, but all of a sudden maybe we get the mineral rights. They'll sell us the mineral rights to Greenland or something. That's all it is. Ask for something way up here, settle something down here, which is what you went for in the first place. I don't know. That would kind of be called the art of the deal. Just saying. All right. Let's see. Rolling. Wow, there's a big delay. There it is. I was gonna say, watching. It's got to be a 45-second delay, easy. Original one shot, one kill. Thank you for the super chat. How's the animal shelter that you support doing? This is for the pups and cats. Thank you. You saw what we did over Christmas when we went in there and donated to them. It was funny because I had mentioned to Patera that they had some Great Pyrenees puppies. They had 5 Great Pyrenees puppies when we were there. And she came back to me and said, James is never going to watch your channel again after telling that. And this was maybe a month ago. And then, of course, she puts up the video the other day that they got themselves a Caucasian Shepherd. I'm like, okay. But no, the animal shelter is doing well. I just got their monthly newsletter from them. So, you know, great people at the animal shelter. Just, you know, Mrs. P, and you know me. It's like I want to go in there and take every one of the dogs home. Mrs. P wants to take the dogs, the cats, the birds. You know, the squirrel in the yard. She wants to take it home too. But you know, unfortunately, we were kind of joking about Patera's video when she was watching. Mrs. P was watching it last night. I'm like, no, because a Caucasian Shepherd is a Russian dog. Okay. Like, no, you can't have one. I said, we don't have the space for. I mean, this is a 150-pound dog. I mean, these things are huge. So, but yeah. So that was kind of fun. But no, the animal shelter is doing well. I haven't heard anything otherwise, and I'm on their list to keep in touch with. Just Paul McGuire, thoughts on the fog that's showing up in different parts of the U.S., UK, and Australia? Pets and livestock dying after eating the snow. One guy lost his cat and his horse. Another lost 5 cats. I talked about this 2 days ago in a video. So I would suggest go back and watch that. But yeah, this is something chemical that's in the air. So, but I gave you all the details and everything in that video. I'm not going to read it here. One shot, one kill again. Tell us more about the ram pump. Is it a Bell or did you make yourself one from PVC? Ram pumps are cool. Can water up to 150 feet from the source. I made this out of PVC, so I'll show you all this in detail, how I built it, in case anybody wants to do it. This is not an original idea. I mean, this is, again, something that has been, ram pumps have, at a minimum, been around for 1,500 years. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, this is just putting it together and trying to, with parts that I can get in Home Depot and everything like that. I'll show you guys once I get it done. I mean, I've got to get the hose out there, and I've got to get the inner tube put in the pressure chamber and cut down my pressure chamber because that's the one issue I have. My pressure chamber is too big, so I got to bring that down. But I'll show you guys that here. We're supposed to have some 40-ish days here in the next week or so. If we get that, that's when I'm going to get out and do it. Right now, it's too cold. All I'm going to be dealing with is ice in the line, so I'm not going to try to play with that. I will say this, don't expect it's going to be pressure a hose or something like that. We calculated what I had before changing my pressure chamber. I'm getting about 12 ounces a minute. And I know people go, oh my God, that's it. Okay. Yeah. 12 ounces a minute is better than 0 ounces a minute. And I've got other ways of getting water in there. So, if I get 12 ounces a minute for 24/7, I'm okay. It's constant coming in. And I know somebody's going to say, well, you could build a bigger system and you could put, 2-inch pipe instead of 1-inch pipe. I get it. Okay. I understand all this. No problem. You got to deal with what the water source you have is. And I've got a stream that is maybe that wide, and we're not talking high water flow. I'm taking what I can get. All right. So, if I can get 12 ounces a minute, all right, let's figure that out. 12 ounces times 60 minutes. That's 720 ounces, which is what, 5 gallons an hour, or 5 gallons an hour or something like that. Okay. 6 gallons an hour. It ain't going to be fast, but it's constant. And if I can get this pressure tube in there and I can pick it up to, let's say 24, 25 gallons or ounces a minute, hey, I'm good. Wendy Cosmo, is it necessary to filter water before or after distilling it? After distilling it, absolutely not, because that's the whole point. You're recondensing the steam, so all the solids are going to stay in the boil pot, if you will, and the distilled water is going to come out the other end. You could, if you want to, filter it beforehand. I probably advise that, at least to get out most of it, because sure, you could distill mud if you want and get the water out of it, but it's going to take a lot of energy because you've got to heat up all those solids in there as well. So, I if you've got gray water, you're okay. If you've got muddy water, I'd filter. Country Humans Network, Pinball. How about a picture of the snow in my neighborhood? Well, we don't have any yet. So we got up this morning and there was a dusting on the roads and a dusting on the back porch. That was about it. But we don't have anything. But if we get a decent amount of snow, yeah, I'll take pictures of it. Mike Wagers 4512. I'm thinking of adding a gas generator. I have an older one. Have you got any tips on the Harbor Freight ones, inverter type? What I'm looking for, but scared of the China stuff. Uh, I have one gas generator. I think it's a 4,500 watt gas generator, and I bought it. It's a Champion. I bought it at Tractor Supply. Oh God, 5 years ago or something like that. Yeah, having a gas generator is a good thing. Do you guys know I talk about solar generators all the time, but I've talked to you guys many times about having a gas generator that you can repower your solar generator because the batteries in the solar generator will store power. Again, I can run my gas generator for an hour and a half and I can charge my solar generator, the battery in it, if you will, to run my refrigerator for 10 hours. It's a lot better than running my gas generator. I said that, you guys know that. The Harbor Freight ones, I'm trying to remember, there was one they had that was really good. I haven't bought one. It was red. That's what it was red with black rails to it. It was one of the heavier duty ones. Some of the little cheap ones suck, but there was one good one, and I don't remember the brand. But depending, I wouldn't discount it. Let's put it this way. I mean, I've got a few Chicago Electric power tools in my garage that have now lasted me 7, 8 years. You know, I mean, my table saw, my miter saw. What else do I have? And those, trust me, both of those get a lot of work around here. Uh, some of the hand tools I got at Harbor Freight, no. Uh, but the bigger stuff that I get from Harbor Freight has lasted well. Larry, what rub on a brisket? I thought it was kind of funny that Walls got more VP electoral votes than Harris got presidential electoral votes. How does that happen? Okay. First off, what rub on a brisket? I don't use any. I'm very old school. I use salt and pepper. No garlic powder, no onion powder, no fancy rubs, no nothing, no mustards. It's salt and pepper. Okay, that's all I use. Uh, and as for Tim Walz getting more VP electoral votes, that I didn't hear that. I wasn't paying that close attention. I mean, I did watch the count on C-SPAN because you can do that online. But I didn't. If he got more, I don't know. Let's see. Nellie, where did I get the ram pump? Did I make it myself? I made it myself. It was all parts from Home Depot or Lowe's, one of the two. Melody, Luke, and Bill, my voice keeps fading in and out. That's probably my voice. Sorry. I don't think it's anything to do with the microphone or your speakers or whatever. Sometimes I will talk louder, talk quieter, depending on intonation. Rock, Pinball, do you think it's a real possibility that Trump can acquire Greenland and Canada states? Maybe as territories, but not as states. That Okay, and we'll go into this a little bit more. First off, you got to remember, first off, Greenland only has a population of about 50,000 people. Okay. So chances are that's going to be a territory because then you get into that bimbo that was there the other day. Why don't you know, Guam or Puerto Rico or Washington, D.C. get to vote on who the Speaker of the House is? Because you're not states, ding-a-ling. Okay. We're not going to make Greenland the 51st state with 50,000 people. Okay. Think about that for a second. Each state gets 2 senators and a representative per about every 300,000 people. So that means Greenland would get 2 senators and 1 representative, like the equivalent of Wyoming, okay, for 50,000 people. That ain't going to happen. Making Canada as states, and this is the dumb thing. Y'all know how big Canada is, right? Canada is the second largest country by landmass in the world. The only one that's larger is Russia. We're not going to make all of Canada a state. So you would have each one of the provinces at a minimum, okay, to become a state. So we'd add at this point, but I think there's 10 or 11 provinces in Canada. I think. Okay. So we'd add 10 more states, which means adding more senators and God knows how many more representatives, right? So you'd have to do that. Okay. And again, I challenge Trump on this one. Do you want to make the country completely liberal? Because you have 20 more senators. I mean, I'm not saying all Canada is liberals. Don't get me wrong. Prep rebels, stay off my ass on this one. But a country that has had Justin Trudeau as prime minister for 10 years, okay, and wouldn't throw him out, is more liberal than we need. And not you, no, okay. Territory, sure, we can make it the Canadian territory, but no, we're not adding Canada, not adding Greenland or whatever to statehood to give them seats in Congress. Sorry, My opinion. If I'm wrong, all right, start learning how to speak Chinese, guys. Okay, Bass Backwards Girl asked the same question. Just discuss that. Who's the daddy? How come nobody's talking about the drones anymore? Did they go away? No, it's because we have a new shiny object to talk about. Terrorists, or the new Congress being seated, or the certification, or nope, drones are still going on. And it's again, I'm not CNN. I'm not on 24/7. I can't talk about everything every day. My whole point is to let you know about things that are going on and then get you to go look for more on your own. Okay, that's kind of my point. Sure, I get the fact that there's some of these people that 6 hour live streams every day or what. I have a life. You know, this is it. I I'm not getting paid millions of dollars. Nobody's sending me, you know, checks to, here, do this with. No, I'm just a YouTuber. Okay. And I've got to get out and take down my Christmas decorations or spend time with my daughter, have a life, spend times with my wife. You know, next week I need to get out and start planting my cabbage because it's that time of year. Uh, yeah, the drones are still going on. It's just that was last week's shiny object. We have a new one this week. Dale from Ohio. Am I surprised that Michael Flynn has not been asked to uh, be involved in Trump's new administration? Yes, but I think Michael Flynn is kind of one of those Trump's ace in the holes that they're still in contact. I'm going to bring you in when I need you. Let's not make you public yet to give the Democrats another reason to go after, give the media, oh, gee, we're going after this guy again. Yada. I'm just going to keep you off on the side. When I need you, I'm going to bring you in like a hammer. That's my thought. I'd be surprised if Trump did not use Michael Flynn for something. Chester Kelsey, did my brisket take more time to cook in the colder weather? Yes, and there was a simple reason because we were doing it. It was freezing. It was raining, freezing rain, snow, depending on. I mean, it changed all day long, which cooled down the smoker. Now, some of you guys have seen. If you've been around here long enough, you've seen the smokehouse that I built. It's based on the same premise that Danny from Deep South Homestead built his. Okay. I basically used his idea and I kind of tweaked it for how I wanted mine to be. Usually, when I smoke in the summer, okay, and you want to keep your smoker somewhere between 2.25 and 250, okay, the internal temperature. Usually, in the summertime, every 45 minutes to an hour, I would need to add more wood to the smoker. Sunday, we were adding wood to it every 25 to 30 minutes because the temperature was dropping. So, did it take longer? Yeah, a little bit. It definitely took longer to get the heat up, the temperature up inside the smoker. It certainly took, I'd say, probably 50% more wood. We were burning hickory. Probably 50% more wood than it would if I was doing this in the summertime. Uh, WFG, whatever. WFG 59 key 8Y. This sounds like a damn ham radio call sign. What kind of smoker do I have? The one I built myself. Uh, there you go. Not one of these big green eggs or something. Healthy disrespect for authority. What do I think of Trump wanting to change the name of the Gulf? That's trolling again. I mean, it's how do you want to put this? he's doing a good job of keeping the public entertained with that. Do I give a crap if it's the Gulf of Mexico or the Gulf of America? No. Okay. Uh, but what he's trying to do with those comments is bring the country together and try to get people to be proud of who we are. Okay. And gee, I'm sorry if it's at the expense of Mexicans. Tough shit. Okay. That's just my thought. Uh, Essential Sam, how is RLRL doing? Don't need no business just to see. Okay. I don't know the details, guys. And if you all saw it, he had sent me an email yesterday asking for prayers, yesterday, the day before, asking for prayers. And he said he's got some tough stuff going on. I do not know the details myself, and I have not heard from him. But for all those of you that said a prayer for him, he's a regular in here all the time. I figure when he's ready, he will tell us. So, a couple of you said something about my talk being broken up. That could simply be my voice in and out. I think I'm coming down with a cold. I've been blowing my nose all day. No, I don't have bird flu. So, Von Mousetrap, what's the motivation behind buying Greenland minerals oil? A couple minerals, sure, but I think a lot more of it is strategic because you got to remember where it is on the map, and with Russia and Putin expanding in the Arctic Circle, this gives us something there too. It will cut off the how do you want to put it? Shipping lanes, military shipping lanes, the naval routes for polyarny, or it'll give the United States a more defensive posture. I think there's a lot to do with minerals, and I think there's a lot to do strategic militarily. And again, you guys got to remember, 90% of what goes on in Washington we don't know about. We get to live in oblivion, which is good. Because if we all knew everything that was happening in the world, we'd probably all be schizophrenic. But you look at it and go, okay, what are the military ideas of this? Who's our threat? Remember the world globe. Sorry, flat earthers. What's the shortest distance between two points? It's a straight line. Well, you know what? The shortest distance from Moscow to Los Angeles goes over the Arctic Circle. It doesn't go around this way. Trust me, I've been on that airplane. I think some of it is militarily too. Frank Drebin, what's the chance of you going to shovel the snow in your yard into the pond? That's actually not a bad idea, except I need a snowblower because there's no way I'm going to sit there and shovel 3 acres by hand. North Alabama hiking. Would I consider watching MSNBC? I'll stop you right there and say no. If Joy Reid was one of the hosts and the other host was Jason from Angry Pepper. The only way I'm going to watch MSNBC is if they do a public execution of Joy Reid. And then, yes, okay. Joy Reid and Al Sharpton are the two biggest race baiters and racists in this country. I wouldn't piss on her if she was on fire. How about that? And knowing Jason as well as I do, Jason wouldn't piss on Joy Reid either. Let's see. Original one shot, one kill. Let's talk about Manifest Destiny. What's on the table? Can we set up for a writer's unit? Okay. We've talked, God knows we've talked enough about Canada. We've talked enough about Greenland and everything like that. I mean, it's funny you hear people say, oh, we should take Mexico. No, please. I want to deport all the Mexicans. I don't want to move the border. That's it. That's it. And call me a racist if you will. I don't GAF. Okay. At this point, I want America for the Americans. I don't want to see Mexican flags or British flags or Somali flags or anything anywhere in this country. Right? If it doesn't have red, white, blue, and stars on it, read that into it as you will. Right? I don't want to see it in this country. Country Humans Network. Cost of canned chicken went up $13.98 now. Luckily, Sam's Club's still at $11.98 for a six pack. So I bought some more. Still have some. Okay. Good. However, I'm going to say this, guys. If you haven't learned how to can yourself, learn. Buy a canner. You don't have to go get the all-American canner and spend $400 on it. I think I've got two of them. They're Prestos, I think. They were about $80, maybe $90. Canning jars, mason jars, you can use over and over and over again. The only thing you're going to have to replace is the lids. Right? The ring. God knows I've got so many freaking rings. I don't know what to do with them all. Lids, you're going to have to buy new lids. They ain't that expensive, especially if you go through Lisa at Sutton's days and get the 4 jars lids, which work fine. Okay. And she's got a discount, get 10% off. That worked fine. Great. And the lids are good. Learn how to can your own meat. Go to the store. When you find something on sale, buy a crap load of it and can your own chicken. Because I know what you're talking about with those cans of chicken. They're this big around and this high. You know, they're what, 12 ounces, maybe 16 ounces or whatever it is for $14. I can go buy, if I buy the legs and thighs at the one store, I can buy damn near 20 pounds of chicken with the bones, okay, for that money. I can boil it all up, take it off the bone, can it up, have way more than what you paid for one can of chicken. And then I've got all the bones that I can use for a soil amendment for my garden. Okay. Does it take a lot more work than shelf putting it here? Yeah. Does it have a whole lot less chemicals in it when I do it? Yeah. And does it have a whole lot more food when I'm done? Yeah. So you're getting 16 ounces. And if we even say 50-50 bones to meat, I'm getting 10 pounds of meat for the same amount of money. You're getting 16 ounces. Gotcha. So if you want, and don't get me wrong, I've got some canned chicken in the pantry. No question. Okay. But do I do most of it myself? Yes. Janet Potter, I'm a few minutes late. Did PBJ make it home safely? Yes, she did. She was home about 5:30, so we are good. Diane S., my electric company wants to switch out our meters to smart meters. Can they really control your thermostat? Google says no. I can opt out for $11 a month. Yes, they really can control your thermostats. And I can tell you this from personal experience because when I was in Las Vegas, our house had a smart, we didn't build the house. Okay. We had a smart thermostat in there. We bought the house in 2017, I think it was. It was a flip. And it had a smart thermostat in there. And Mrs. P and I watched as the electric company would change because we were home all day. So I worked from home. Okay. We'd watch them raise the temperature. We'd set the thermostat at 76 or whatever we kept in the summer. And we'd watch all of a sudden it went up to 82 or whatever. Like, no. And finally, I pulled that thermostat out. I went and put it over, went back in. Bullshit of I can opt out for $11 a month. You can just go change the thermostat, and no, you don't have to pay them $132 a year to do it. You can go buy a thermostat at Home Depot or whatever for $50. Moving on down the line. Yeah, a bunch of you guys are saying Predator generators. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know from Home Depot brand or I'm sorry, Harbor Freight. I don't know. I was a big customer of Harbor Freight when we were in Vegas because they were close. For Harbor Freight for me is near and powered from the house, so I don't go there that often anymore. Let's see, somebody says Harbor Freight has an excellent hammer drill headed for 25 years. Stuff you need. Yeah, the thing, I mean, my theory on Harbor Freight tools, okay, and I'm just going to give you this. Agree with me, disagree with me. I know there's some people that, got to be skilled, got to be Makita, got to be Milwaukee, whatever. I get it. What do you, I mean, if you're making a living off of it, all right, sure. If you're a construction guy, you probably want to go for better quality. Maybe not. If you're a weekend handyman like I am, you like to build things around the house, picnic tables or planters or cabinets or something like that. Like I've built Adirondack chairs. It's great. What am I going to use it for? Okay, I'm going to buy the less expensive tools, and the advantage I'll say for Harbor Freight stuff is, you go buy, I don't know, a power drill. Was it $19? Okay, and I had a couple of their drills. They suck. But it's like, okay, $19 as opposed to $79. How often do you use it? Well, once or twice a year. Buy a $19 one. Buy, because when it breaks, go buy another $19 one. And when it breaks, go buy another $19 one. And when it breaks, go buy another $19 one. And by the time you bought four, you paid the same amount of money as somebody paid $79 for the skill one. Just again, it's like anything else. How much you can use it. If it's something you're using every day, go for the quality. If it's something you use once a month, gee, I got to drill 2 holes, in something every once in a while. The cheap ones, fine. You're better off spending more money on good drill bits than you are on a drill. My opinion. Rumbo, don't forget about that. Okay. S. Lample, yes, they can turn your meter off. It communicated both ways. They'll shut it off and screw brownouts. I have no idea what your context is there. Okay. Infinitely blessed. I love your theory. Send all the illegal dreamers to Greenland and let them live there. I think that's a good idea. Prep Rebels, absolutely right. Spamming the chat with comments. Spamming the chat with comments that cannot be proved is not cool. Spamming the chat period is not cool, and those comments will get deleted by the mods. Okay. What they're here for. Robert Bates, remember I'm 20 minutes or more behind. I'll keep asking the same questions. Yep, you're correct. Okay. I mean, it's 10 minutes to 8 or 10 minutes to 9, and I have no idea. There's halfway through the comments. Put that way. Justin Burnett, I'm halfway. Man, I can't read. I just need my cup of pinball before I leave for work, and I'll be good. There you go. Add a little milk and sugar, and you'll be happy. Rebecca Woosley, they mentioned on Benny Johnson, which I do pay attention to. I watch my Twitter. The differences in delegate votes might be due to states that don't have to give all their votes to candidates to go individually for the winner. Yeah, Maine and Nebraska, do not have winner take all. So that could have been something there. Uh, Nelly, what kind of wood used in my smoker? I use hickory uh, primarily because that's what I've got access to. Because Mountaintop Preps had a couple of hickory trees come down that it was good, so we busted that up. Or correct me there. He busted that up for me, uh, cut it into smoker size wood. And then I've got a hickory tree here in my yard that died, so that's going to get cut down here this winter, and that'll get cut up. But apple and cherry are also good, though I don't have apple or cherry trees that I'm going to cut down, for that. I know I've heard other people say use oak or whatever. Uh, Usually fruit tree woods are the best ones for smokers. Buzzard, am I ever going to grow Roma tomatoes? And if so, what method of support string stake do you like to use? I grow God knows how many different kinds of tomatoes. We change every year what we grow. It's like, okay, ask Mrs. P because she's the tomato lover in the house. What do you want to grow this year? And we grow crazy stuff. You guys know that. But my method for growing has always been, and I showed you guys this a couple of years ago. I bought some concrete mesh, the concrete white, the crisscross stuff, with 4x8 sheets, and I just cut it in half, bent it over, and make cages out of that, tomato cages, and those are just side by side, and so I have a wall there, so all the tomatoes can go into that wall. They got support on everything, left, front, center, back, all good. That's the cheapest, best way I've ever found tomatoes. I know you see all these. First off, don't ever buy those stupid, expensive ones that $5 for a rinky-dink tomato cage at Home Depot. Don't ever spend money like that. That's the stupidest thing ever. Okay. I've seen people talk about the string method. You run a piece of string, you run string down, and the tomato, and great, you get this nice skinny tomato. I put this in with concrete mesh, and I've literally got about a foot wide by however long I want to have wall that the tomatoes can all grow all over the place, all connected to each other. And it's great because it's just this huge tomato wall. They have all the support they need. Buzzard, you've been up here. I can show you what I'm talking about if you want to come up, because I'm going to need mushroom compost from you again. So plan on that. Oh, crap. I think we're getting close to the end because my computer is going to die here real quick. Michigan lifestyle. I've lost a grandson to hardening their heart at 19. It sucks. Play the rain of the heart. And I'm assuming that's talking about Jason again. And yes, losing it. God help. I only got one kid. God help me if I ever lose a kid. B deck. Do I think Trump will eliminate the ATF? I know Lauren Boebert put up a bill to do that. That would be awesome because the ATF is not a lawmaking body. That's called Congress. But the ATF sure thinks that they can tell us what to do, which is complete BS. We're gonna print it out quick. I'm buffering bad because my computer's dying. Jacqueline Presnell, I'm hearing animals, dogs, cats, birds, horses are dying from the snow and the fog. I talked about this the other day. Lisa Preps, gas generator from Tractor Supply that was talked about in your channel about 4 years ago. I bought was a Predator 4375. Thank you. Okay. I don't remember what it was. Don't have no idea what that we talked about. Darlene Wright, does Mrs. P have an herbal remedy for colds and flu. Thanks. No, she does not. It's just tea, tea, more tea, tea and honey, vitamin C and zinc. That's her. She gave me vitamin C and vitamin C and zinc tonight. Uh, Rona 2.0. Kiss my ass. Member Barry, having property and being on the lake. Do you ever just sit on the porch and watch the sunrise? So many people never slow down. Yes, I can't tell you how many times, not in the winter, okay. And I don't have a clear view of the lake. I mean, like I said, I mean, it's a 4-minute walk for me to get there. But I can't tell you how many days, summertime, I will sit out on my front porch with a glass of tea, pitcher of tea, a beer, 6-pack of beer, and just sit on the porch. I mean, I've literally sat out there all afternoon, watched the dogs play, listen to the birds. Just, I've got to the point in life where it's like I don't have to go crazy anymore, and I can stop and just relax. And it was like I told you guys about the Saturday night live streams, why we're not doing those. I've got other things to do, that I want to just sit back and relax. Having my daughter up here over the weekend was a chance to relax and have fun. Yeah, there's plenty of times. I mean, I've got a couple of rocking chairs. You guys have seen me sit on those on the porch. That Mrs. P laughs at me. She goes, "You've been out there for 3 hours." Yeah, it was comfortable. I was just enjoying it. All right. I'm trying. Any thoughts on hosting a get together this year? Maybe together with Patera. That would be fun. I keep every once in a while I kick it through my head. I'm still trying to figure out how to do it. Like I said, last time we had more people that wanted to come than we had space for. I got to find a bigger place. I I'm not promising anything, guys. I don't. It's something that crosses my mind about doing it, but I can't promise it. Uh, what do I think of Matt Gates? Patrick Lake asking, what do I think of Matt Gates on OAN? I think Matt Gates did the stupidest thing ever by dropping out of Congress. It's up for AG, then he drops out of Congress, and I mean, that was a career move to go to OAN. Really? No. Okay. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. Last one. I'm going to cut it because we're buffering like crazy. As Cook, if we take in these other countries, we'll just have to take care of more people that don't want to work. I won't say that people don't want to work, but yeah, the last thing we need to do is import, annex Canada and take on a whole bunch of goat fuckers that don't want to do anything but milk off the system. You figure out who I'm talking about at that point and go look at the problems that Canada has with immigration, where they're coming from. Uh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going to be a firm believer in this. U.S. first, the current borders, you speak English or you GTFO. That's it. And I pray to God in 3 weeks, 2 weeks, that Tom Homan goes absolutely ballistic and we start seeing tens of thousands of people just catapulted across the border every freaking day. I don't care how. I don't care if they go voluntarily, involuntarily, or body bags. Get them out of here. And on that note, have a good evening. Pinball out.